All
So,
right.
our
Take a
first
Chad.
badass from history is actually one that Mike put together. So, why don't we switch on over there and let us know who this badass is?
Works for me. But before we do that, let me ask you this, Jason. Hey, what's red and bad for your teeth?
Citric acid.
I don't know what color citric acid is, but the answer is a brick.
That would also be bad for my teeth.
Quite. But also red and bad for your teeth is probably Grace O'Malley. She's one of the most badass women in history, and she was and may Allah forgive me for using this word, a ginger. All right. So,
She's a ginger.
Grace O'Malley is celebrated in Ireland as the original pirate queen. She was a 16th century figure and a very remarkable leader, respected not only by her own people, but also by her sworn enemy, the English.
English.
Yeah.
Damn English.
All right. A little backstory on her. Her family got its start in Western Ireland in the early 1300s, while Henry VIII was still defying churches and beheading wives.
Henry the Eighth, I am.
I am. But unlike Anne Boleyn, Grace was not content to sit on her ass and be pampered. Hell no.
She don't need
She
no
picked
man.
up a saber and a flintlock and took testicles as castanets. Speaking hyperbolically, of course, her interest wasn't so much in family jewels as much as actual jewels.
There you go.
But that didn't stop her from having a few children. And if the tales are to be believed, she gave birth to one child in the middle of a naval battle, left the baby in the cabin of the ship, went outside, murdered a bunch of sailors, and then went back in to feed her baby.
She strangled him with the umbilical cord, didn't she?
Probably.
Going
And I'm
commando.
sure she used her flintlock to cut it.
She just like attached a large ball with spikes on the end of it and just called it a Morning Star.
A hip-mounted flail.
Yes. Yes.
Like she jerked her hips at him and it's... Never mind. Other sources of the same story state that she fed the baby from her freckled ginger titties while fighting.
The baby.
That seems a bit far-fetched.
Really?
Just a touch. I mean, a baby in the middle of a battle? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. Especially a newborn. It seems kind of impractical.
Not only impractical, but, I mean, still far-fetched as all hell.
Yeah.
It was the 16th century. Look, they did things differently back then, okay? Like, there was a naval battle. Either, she went out there and fought or the baby died. I mean,
Well,
she didn't
fair
have
enough, but, I mean, if
We're built different back then.
I mean, like, even if she didn't go fight, what was she going to do? Just sit there, wait for them to slaughter them? I mean, her water broke. They were fighting. Oops.
Who knows?
What are
She
you gonna
could have
do?
done exactly
Park?
what possums do.
What was she going to do? Park the ship on the curb and call a doctor?
Probably.
She's just going to be like, I had a baby.
She was Irish, not Scottish, first of all.
I mean,
secondly,
close enough.
She could have did what opossums do and, like, chuck the baby, because if she died, the baby would have died. So the baby might as well die so she could have another baby.
Yeah, but like
she
was just used to winning. I mean, if she was like this badass pirate queen, she knew she was gonna win because that's just what she did, right?
Yeah, I mean,
any
she
pirate
was a winner.
queen worth their salt was not going to walk in assuming victory.
I mean,
victory, you're overconfident.
I've never walked
in.
You don't walk into a fight thinking you're gonna lose. That kind of mentality is just gonna make you lose.
Yeah, regardless of having a baby.
You just lose your fights, Lance. That's the difference between you and me. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Anyway, Grace O'Malley's life was not without tragedy. After the death of her first husband, she took a lover from another fleet. That lover was killed by a rival band of pirates, all of whom she, according to legend, slaughtered personally. These deaths took place in Castle Duna, which earned her the most metal nickname of anyone ever, the Dark Lady of Duna.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's ominous. That's ominous.
Very. But this woman had such brass balls that when she was granted a safe audience with the Queen Elizabeth of England, she refused to bow because, in her mind, she too was a queen. That's a line for a fucking movie. Get on it, Hollywood.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Rather hilariously, she was not one to skip telling off her own family either. And it is recorded in actual history that she berated her own son for being cowardly during a battle by yelling out, "Are you trying to hide in my arse, the place that you came out of?"
Oh,
Except,
he's a shit baby. It's a
Damn.
butt baby.
except she yelled it in Irish.
Oh, baby.
Butt baby.
Dang, dude.
A butt baby. A butt baby. that makes me giggle sometimes when I hear butt baby. Either
Fuck,
way,
baby.
she yelled it in Irish, though, which is the most infuriatingly confusing language. So,
Gaelic.
Irish, not Gaelic. Irish and Gaelic are two very different languages. Gaelic is Proto-Irish, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, Gaelic fell out of common usage in the 1400s, I believe. But either way, it's an infuriatingly confusing language, so I'm sure it sounded hilarious in her mother tongue. Just saying. For instance, Jason, do me a
What?
favor real quick.
What?
Got a pen and paper?
No, I don't.
Well, shit.
In 2022, come on.
In front of a computer?
Okay,
Like, what?
Lance,
Why do I have to have
pull
a
up a
pen?
Word document real quick. Just humor me real quick. Pull up a Word document or a notepad or something.
I mean, I'm looking directly at the
I
at
have
the
a-
stream doc. I'm just saying.
I
While
have a
you
Word
are,
document open.
Go ahead. Type in the following letters: CIA OMHE.
GIAOM.
CIA.
Oh, CIA.
Yeah, CIA OMHE.
Like Stun Smith.
GIAOMHE. Kyom Hey? I don't know how.
That is a genuine Irish name that is still in use to this day, and it is relatively popular in County Cork.
Is that
Try to pronounce
pronounced
it.
Kyom
Definitely
Hey?
can't see that.
It is
There we go.
not.
CIAOMHE, you said?
Yep, that is a fairly common girl's name in Ireland today.
How do you
Bonus-
pronounce it? Dude,
Brownie
I would
points to
butcher it.
any of you who can pronounce it, and you are going to be pissed at me when I tell you how you do pronounce it.
Combe Hey. No.
Come on, Dylan, give it a shot.
I actually can't see it.
You can't see
You're
it?
not looking at the stream?
I'm saying it's on
CMH?
the stream right now.
Yeah,
We have one viewer, and I think it's me.
probably.
Because I've got the stream pulled up, and we have one viewer. So.
And he's limited because I think he's yeah. But yeah,
I'll just go ahead and say it. That name is pronounced Quiva.
Quiva?
Quiva.
I want to know how the fuck their letters work.
Exactly.
see, I can see now why her face is so angry right now. Like,
She wants to shoot that name out of the air. Or she's got two guys hunting that floating pair of boxer briefs. I'm gonna get you, tighty whities. Today I am.
It looks like she's about to make a queef.
A little bit.
she's like, I just had a baby.
All right. Anyway, despite all this fun stuff and the idiotic language that they spoke back in those days, she lived until the age of about 72 or 73, depending on your source, and she died of natural causes in 1603 in her home at
Dang.
Rockfleet Castle.
There you go.
Comfortably, might I add, surrounded by servants, feasts, and all the male concubines you can imagine, probably.
Probably.
So we've got
Is
some
that-
supporting a supporting video here to kind of just fill in the gap. So let's give that a look.
Well, before
In the
you do
1500s.
that,
Go ahead. You are muted right now. Mike, we can't hear you.
Oh,
There you go. We can hear you now.
okay. I
He
was just going to
died.
say she has a bronze statue of herself erected in Ireland, and she is considered an Irish folk hero to many Irishmen and women to this day.
I can believe that. Are we
Mhm.
ready for the video?
Bring it on.
In the 1500s, the seas of Ireland were controlled by a fearsome and powerful pirate woman. Her name was Grace OMalley. Today we will learn how Grace defied English rule, drove away slave ships, and became one of Ireland's greatest ever fighters. This is
All
Knowledge
this
Voyage.
despite being a genge.
But before this video starts, don't forget to hit subscribe and
Having a
hit the
baby
bell
come
so
out
that you
of
can
her
get all
eyes.
of our weekly videos about history.
I was going to
Thank
say,
you.
this is on Knowledge Voyage. Be sure to give them a subscribe.
In the 1500s, Ireland was occupied by England. England was ruled by its fire-haired Queen Elizabeth I. But on the other
Ah, it's another
Firehead?
ginger right there.
Ew. Gross.
Just saying.
Firehead.
You're gonna see a lot of fucking gingers in an Irish fucking video.
I mean,
Oh,
you
man.
see some girls walking around wearing those neck chokers to show that they have a daddy. And she is just showing off.
I thought she was just trying to make everybody think that she's a venomous snake, but
Or a
Maybe
Maybe
side of
she's
the
a grandmaster
I'm
at
a
DJ.
snake, a sneaky, sneaky
a
snake.
snake.
That video's a fucking classic. I don't care who you are.
All right, let's give her a look here.
Queen Elizabeth I. But on the other side of the Irish Sea
You
was
putting hot
another
sauce on
redhead
something right now? What the fuck?
Tahine, actually. It's powder.
Okay, there you go.
Chili lime
Carving out
powder,
her-
and it goes on fucking everything. This is a cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
own
Cheeseburger.
domain on the high seas, and her name was Grace OMalley. Grace OMalley was born in
Almost guaranteed she was not that attractive.
I was
Just
gonna
saying.
think, I was
Absolutely
just
not.
thinking that.
Wasn't there like all of these movies with, like, for example, Joan of Arc, which, by the way, we didn't even make her a badass of history today. But
Honorable
like Joan
mention.
of Arc was notoriously not very attractive at all, but anyway.
Man, neither was Pocahontas. Also, she was 12.
Ooh.
Nope.
So I don't think I would want to. Well, wait a minute. She's fucking dead, so she's definitely not 12. But what
She
you're
was
saying with the
12
story
at the time.
at
At
the
the
story.
time of her famed stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
she was 12 years old and married off to another guy named John from England, not John Smith.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, tangent over.
Wasn't
Let's
John?
watch this.
Look,
ginger.
Everybody was named John in England at that time, okay?
Probably.
Mayo to an Irish noble family who had lost power and land to the English. But Grace would make up for it by carving out her own empire on the sea. Her piracy was not just to terrify her opponents, but also to protect her community. Ireland, like most of Europe at the time, was often raided by Islamic slave raiders from the Barbary coast. They came to kidnap young blonde and red-haired women, as they were highly sought out of the Ottoman court harems. Ireland was targeted due to its many red-haired women, but Grace OMalley made sure there was one red-haired woman the Barbary slave raiders would regret meeting. Whilst at sea, Grace fell into labour, and within hours of giving birth to her son, Barbary pirates attacked her ship. But Grace was a fearsome fighter. Rather than hide, she burst out of the
There he
hull
is.
blazing her pistols and roaring defiance. She shot the slave raiders' commanders and rallied her crew to fight off the remaining invaders. This tale of a terrifying red-haired female pirate was passed along Barbary slave raiders, who wisely avoided Ireland during her control.
See, badass of history right there.
As a result, she
He
saved
fought off
countless
the
women and girls
Muslims.
from enslavement. But Grace was only getting started. The English were trying to tighten their control on Ireland, and Grace had a plan to fight back. Using the inlets in Western Ireland's coast, she launched multiple pirate raids on English ships, shattering their resolve and seizing supplies and gold. She became deeply feared amongst English sailors, but rather than be angry, England's Queen Elizabeth I couldn't help but admire this enemy. They had much in common. They were
She's all like, nice, bruv.
both about the same age. They had both defied odds
That's
and thrived in a
English
man's
Hey, I'm just saying, she doesn't even have red hair, so why are you even showing her? Honestly.
He's a blonde.
That's a different one, probably.
Ow, my immersion. Ow.
world, and they both had the allegiance of their subjects and were used to winning. In
You ever
1593,
notice how in
Grace
some
OMalley
shows they'll like replace an actor midway through a season?
I mean, that happens pretty often, yeah.
Also, the whole Iron Man debacle with Colonel Rhodes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
was
In
invited
this
to
case, they
negotiate with Queen
exchanged a ginger for a blonde, so massive upgrade.
I mean, this is a 3-minute video, so seems kind of silly.
A little silly to swap out the actress.
Yeah.
O'Malley was
Maybe
invited
she
to
went Super
negotiate with Queen
Saiyan.
allegiance to their subjects and were used to winning. In 1593, Grace O'Malley was invited to negotiate with Queen Elizabeth I at Greenwich Palace in London. The meeting went well. Grace refused to bow, and when Elizabeth offered her a title, she
Refused
refused.
to bow.
When asked why she hadn't bowed,
She's like, fuck you, bitch. I ain't bowing. I bow to no one. I'm Grace O'Malley.
or accepted a title, Grace explained that she too was a queen and couldn't accept such behaviour from an equal. And rather than be offended,
There she is. Now, she's like getting more venomous as we move along here. That's definitely...
Not even venom. She is morphing into a galaxy.
She's trying to be like fucking Popeye right now. Look at those freaking
Dude,
forearms.
she's holding the freaking world in her hand.
I'm Popeye the English Queen.
Oh.
Elizabeth I was actually deeply impressed. Thanks to this show of strength,
She literally was just all like, fuck you, bitch. And she's like, wow, impressive.
Hey, I'm backing
Elizabeth
up a little
negotiated-
bit to that still image real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, this was considered the height of fashion, circa 1600.
I mean, little does everybody
Let that
know
sink in.
that her arms were actually just that fat, and that's not actually stuffing in her dress.
Yeah, that wasn't stuffing, and that was not for fashion. That was function.
Yeah. She could not bend her arms because they were so fat.
She's so swole.
Damn,
And-
she's swole.
That's from fucking carrying the kingdom for so long, you know? Like...
Yeah.
She was
Rather
the
than be a-
original Giga Chad.
Oh, God.
and rather than be offended, Queen Elizabeth I was actually deeply impressed. Thanks to this show of strength, Elizabeth negotiated a treaty that retained the O'Malley clan's independence and agreed to release one of Grace's sons from an English jail. In short, Grace was a force of nature. Grace O'Malley was a ferocious warrior and terrorized her opponents at sea. She was also a powerful diplomat, swaggering into the palace of her sworn enemy
There you
and
go.
displaying such strength and confidence that she obtained extraordinary concessions. In short, Grace O'Malley was a true Irish warrior heroine, and even today is known as Ireland's pirate queen.
Thanks for watching.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
That was it right there. Grace O'Malley,
If only she wasn't a ginger, I would.
the pirate queen. So any final thoughts on Grace? Definitely deserving of badass of history, for sure.
Another little known fact about this weirdly obscure personage from history. She is the reason that saying your prayers before dinner is called saying grace.
Oh,
Very well.